In between the third and fourth quarter, LeBron James saw the world's most famous sports media member, who he thinks has been unfair to him and his family, more on that in a second, walked over to him, checked him, and then...
They hit that boy with the tax. DeMar DeRozan was fined $25,000 for public criticism of officiating. Boy, the refs are getting out of control. How many, matter of fact, I need you to drop in the comments, how many times have the ref missed a call for your favorite team this season? And I'm pretty sure it's a lot. Don't be shy. It's your time to speak up.
And that's facts.
All right, if this is your first time tapping in the channel, I mean, where have you been?
Me?
You are missing a full lineup of news, rumors, NBA dramas, up-to-date Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, Lakers information. I need you to tap in so you could be back in.
Oh, say less.
So you don't miss a single thing when it comes to this game of basketball that we love so much. Currently, what's going on around the NBA? We have Stephen A getting pulled up on. And when I do say pulled up on, my boy is straight getting pulled up on every...
I'm gonna get you, bro.
What you said?
Man, like I ain't got nothing to do with me, gang.
Nah, I don't feel like you standing on business. You had conversation back
I'm
and
just
forth.
telling you what they told me.
What's happening around the NBA? The Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban speaks out. I have a video that will be dropping today speaking about Mark Cuban and how he felt about the trade and the fact that he would not have traded Luka Doncic. But however, we are still under the situation. All right, so let's get into it. Before we hop into the video reaction with Nick Wright, we're going to give you the latest news around the NBA. Recent game highlights last night featured a busy 12-game slate, and the standout performances included Dyson Daniels scoring 25 points to lead the Atlanta Hawks over the Philadelphia 76ers. AJ Lawson with a career high helping the Toronto Raptors. AJ, man, coming from Dallas, it's good to see. Man, why Dallas always get rid of the players that we need?
And that's facts.
And with AJ Lawson's career high for Toronto, led them to win the game over the Washington Wizards. Next, we got Sam Hauser. Boy, try to say that three.
I beg your...
I say it's a difficult one.
Shots fired!
Hitting 9 3-pointers to power the Boston Celtics over the Utah Jazz. Also, Domantas Sabonis locked in his 46 double-double with 27 points and 16 rebounds for the Sacramento Kings, who railed from a 20-point deficit to beat the New Orleans Pelicans, extending their losing streak to 8 games.
And that's facts.
I said that they hit that boy with the tax. DeMar DeRozan was fined $25,000 for public criticism of officiating. Boy, the refs are getting out of control. How many, matter of fact, I need you to drop in the comments, how many times have the ref missed a call for your favorite team this season? And I'm pretty sure it's a lot. Don't be shy. It's your time to speak up.
And that's
Injury updates. With all the players missing games around the NBA, we have multiple players that are being added to the injury list day in and day out, especially from Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and many, many more. Kawhi Leonard's playing is a key focus for fantasy and basketball betting.
Pardon?
I say they probably betting on the wrong horse for the betting lines today. While the Pelicans are monitoring potential injuries per recent expos as far as fantasy basketball podcasts. That's crazy. All right, so we got Nick Wright breaking down the whole LeBron fiasco. What's going on? Stephen A getting pulled up on, and not to mention it was during the Knicks and Lakers game. So you know this one has some twists and turns. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video, because after this, I already gave you the news information update for the NBA. Stick around, because these rumors that I got for you at the end after this video, straight high fire. And that's facts.
And that's facts.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I mean that. Let's get it.
One is, just generally speaking, and this gets to where my frustration about how LeBron has been covered forever. The killer instinct, people aren't afraid of him. He's not this guy, he's not that guy. So much of that just has to do with how he's been covered rather than the reality. Because what happened on Thursday night was, in a game it looked like the Lakers were going to lose, in between the third and fourth quarter, LeBron James saw the world's most famous sports media member, who he thinks has been unfair to him and his family, more on that in a second, walked over to him, checked him, and then the guy's favorite team ever walked them down, hit the 3 in the corner to cut it from 4-1 directly in front of that person, and then won in overtime, hitting all the clutch free throws. If that were Michael or Kobe, it would be part of...
Hey, can I say LeBron was out there collecting coins? When you disrespects a man's family, there's no level of the level he can get to in order to level anything he needs to level. I'm talking about he'll get some straightening out. I say he got out the level of my boy. So nice you gotta say it twice. That's that act right, straight fact.
They're legend. It would be in their documentaries. Oh, and then this time walked over to him in a game they looked like they were gonna lose against that guy's favorite team, and then won the game. And so that's just, I thought that was, I think most of us when we saw it assumed that happened after the game. And I was even a little confused because I was watching that game, and that game LeBron went right to the locker room after the game. And then when you saw it, it looked like something was going on the court. So I remember when the video first came out being like, was that during a live action essentially? But I didn't put it all together, and then we got the real details. It was between third and fourth quarter. Now, because I think a lot of people have been really dishonest and unfair about acting like, oh, LeBron's son's in the league and now he doesn't want anyone, even though he's an NBA player, to criticize him. That's not what this was. This was a number of different things. The first one is this. I do think it is, listen, Bronny James as a basketball player is totally fair, a fair target. Where I think there might be some frustration is, have you heard, and I'm going to mispronounce some of these names, any of these names in any media whatsoever, except for maybe the most in the weeds, dedicated local team podcasts? Baylor Shireman, Jonathan Mogbo, Kyle Filipowski, Tyler Smith, Tyler Kolek, Johnny Furphy, Juan Nunez, Bobby Klintman, AJ Mitchell, Jalen Wells, Oso Iguodaro, Adam Bona, KJ Simpson, Pell Larson, Jamal Sheed, Cam Christie, Antonio Reeves, Harrison
First
Ingram,
of all, you're not going to speak and say what you just said.
Melvin Ajinka, Quentin Post. I've been hearing some Quentin Post. He's been playing well for the Warriors. Cam Spencer, Anton Watson, Kevin McCullough Jr., Ulrich, Kamchi, Eric.
2 hours later.
Porty. The only guy I've heard mentioned all year. Now, the first couple names I mentioned, Filipowski obviously was a great college player, and Shireman was a really good college player. All year, maybe a little Jamal Sheed. Those are all the second-round picks. So it's not as if on these shows we talk a lot about second-round picks. So you might be like, well, yeah, but...
Is Nick right on to something? Has the NBA legacy media taken a total turn for the worse, not being able to cover the game of basketball and only covering the narratives that come along with the biases that they have? Has the game transitioned more along what's about getting clicks compared to what has been the standard for maintaining a healthy basketball enthusiast community? Has the NBA lost track of its roots, got disconnected somehow? The owners created separation? Some serious things to think about.
Is getting more opportunity, getting more run. He's playing in more NBA games than most second-round picks. Well, let's check. Bronny James, the 55th pick.
Hey, this is a question for you. Do you think Bronny James has been playing more minutes than any other second-round picks? And if so, drop those names. And if from this list that he lists off, the player that you know of that has had more minutes than Bronny, put it in the comments below. I said this is a basketball community. We all teach. So I'm going to need you to give me.
Sorry, I spaced out.
I mean, I'm not perfect.
Pick of the draft. Here is where he ranks amongst rookies this year in the following categories. Again, I did this once before. I will do it again. The 55th pick, you would hope, round 55th in minutes played in the NBA. Bronny James in points. Bronny James, the 55th pick, is 56th. So in other words, playing exactly to his draft status. Yeah, well, those are garbage time minutes. What does that really mean? What's he doing in the G League?
If you let Rich Paul tell you, there's no such thing as garbage minutes, because in those minutes, you have an opportunity to go out there and show the team that you are capable of earning more minutes. They might seem like they're garbage minutes, maybe to LeBron, maybe to Luka, but as far as somebody that's a second round pick or a late first round pick, there's no such thing as garbage minutes. Not for you. You better get out there and make the best out of those NBA minutes.
And that's facts.
21, 5, and 5 in the G League regular season, 34 minutes per game on 45-39 splits. So I think some of the frustration is
45-39.
the Lakers took in the first round last year, Jalen Hood-Schifino, who is, let me check his G League stats. Who
Is he in the G League now? Okay.
no longer on the Lakers.
We're here like,
What draft? Yeah, last year in the G League, the Lakers' first round pick. Again, Bronny this year in the G League, 21, 5-5. Last year in their first round pick, what number was he overall? I think 17. It was pre-20. I know.
boy. I don't know, man.
Warriors loves went 19. So Bronny this year, 21, 5-5 is the 55th pick for the Lakers G League team. Jalen Hood-Schifino, 22, 5-5 as the 17th pick. So it does feel like, well, we don't really talk about these guys and then this. But that's not what this was about. This actually wasn't about, and this is the part that I think just should be level set. It was about, two things. One, the commentary win, and I said it before, I'll say it again. I really like Stephen A. But I'm just trying to, so I'm not even making as much of a value judgment about this. I'm just trying to kind of set the record straight. When Stephen A. did I'm pleading with you as a father to end this.
Wait a minute.
That really bothered LeBron. And that was why, by the
And that's
way,
facts.
LeBron's people called
LeBron was over here like,
I beg your pardon.
you talking to?
Stephen A. And then Stephen A. made fun of him for it. And so then LeBron handled it himself, which felt to me totally reasonable. And so I didn't really get when Stephen A's like,
Pop
you have my
up,
number, all this stuff.
pop
Like,
out
Stephen A.
style.
always says, I'm at the games, I'm around, come talk to me. That's what he did. But when you're talking to a guy who had no relationship with his father whatsoever, and then basically telling that guy in LeBron, be a better father, that is going to really...
Hey, do y'all think Stephen A. was out of line to come at LeBron James so sideways? I mean, you have to be laying down for somebody to be able to talk to you sideways like that.
Then when you add to it the fact that we've all kind of memory hold, the fact that Bronny suffered cardiac arrest and almost died less than a year and a half ago, when you have that added kind of anxiety as a parent, which any parent that's ever had any health scare with any of their kids, and for the vast, those, parents out there listening who've lost a child, I can't imagine. But for the majority of us, we've never had a health scare like that, but we've almost all had something where we're super nervous. You can't imagine what it'd be like. You get the phone call, your kid's getting CPR. So you're certainly going to be on added edge. And then the other piece is this. Does it feel like that's what's been, when they've decided to talk about him in the media, that's been the topic?
People are spending so much time talking about Bronny James when the fact that this is probably the first season where we have spent this much time talking about the last man on the bench, especially for the Los Angeles Lakers. However, at the same time, I know his father is LBJ. We have to allow Bronny to be able to get adjusted to the game speed and the flow of the game. And how many people are that last man on the bench that gets that much playing time? We got to be honest when we talk about these things.
That's been the context, pardon me. Or does it feel more like it's been, this is a Make-A-Wish story. This is a guy who has no business being there and is way out of his depth. And that's the part. Now, listen, some of this is just part of being, I guess the good side of being Bron's kid is you get drafted when maybe you wouldn't have. The bad side is even if you, play up to that level that you earned it or that you're earning it, you're going to get
Still a
scrutinized.
standard.
But as Stephen A. said, that was a parent confronting a guy about his kid. And I didn't think it was out of line. And I actually think the fact that he did that and then walked down the Knicks, who happened to be Stephen A's team, right in front of him, is pretty dope.
Made a statement.
Sadly, LeBron's now hurt. So Lakers, I would say, let's just say he's out the next 10. They should beat Brooklyn, Phoenix, San Antonio, Chicago, Orlando without him. And then at
They lost to
Milwaukee,
Brooklyn.
at Denver,
That's tough.
home for Denver, home for Milwaukee. Can you go 1-3? I guess I'm putting it like this.
They got to win out.
6-4 in the next 10 without Bron would be good. 5-5, anything worse, big problem. And
What do you think? Expectations below. Drop them. All right. So rumors. We got Kevin Durant trade buzz. Speculation is continuing around Kevin Durant future in Phoenix. Despite trade talks this season, Durant has stayed put at the February 6th deadline. However, rumors persist, suggesting a move to the Dallas Mavericks to pair with Kyrie and Anthony Davis. Though no concrete developments has emerged yet, it is something to definitely be on the lookout for. Durant has expressed a calm acceptance of the trade chatter. I covered in a previous video, Kevin Durant has already claimed that everyone in this league is bought and sold. But let's get into the trade fallout. Blockbuster trade like Luka Doncic and Jimmy Butler with the Warriors before the trade deadline was still ripping through the league inside the NBA. Noted that agents and executives are now discussing how these moves will impact the NBA moving forward, just reshaping the playoff landscape with some intel reportedly shared from an informational meeting in Hawaii.
I beg your pardon.
I told y'all they be having these meetings, man. They don't think we know, but I be knowing. So nice, I gotta say it twice. With that being said, there still are some other teams that we need to take a look into. For example, the Chicago Bulls, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Washington Wizards are reportedly gearing up for trade talks this summer. Though specifics still remain vague, the Mavericks are also monitoring injury to two key big men, which could influence the roster decision moving forward.
Pardon?
I don't like it. But that's it for that. Here goes some additional information that I figured you might want to know. The playoff pictures: the Kings win over the Pelicans. International play: the New Orleans Pelicans are set to play an exhibition game against Melbourne, a team in Australia, marking the first in its franchise history. All right. Thank you. And I appreciate you. All the comments I see.
And that's facts.
Make sure you tap in so you could be back in. This is the one-stop shop for all things basketball. News, rumors, buzz, NBA, hot tea. Simply put, that hot fire.
You gonna learn today.
And that's facts.
So if this left you on the cliffhanger or you just need more content to watch, straight hot fire, check out this video above.